Positional changes to what you would have seen in the paper. Darren Rice into the centre. Bill Swan is roving. Peter Smith has come from Brisbane to centre half forward, and former Roo Roy Ramsey on the half-back flank. Let's hear from their coach, George Allen.
Very important. We're sitting second, Preston third. The side that wins it will get a bit of a break on the sides under us in the competition. It's a very even comp this year, and it's a very important game for us today. Preston surprised everyone this year, I think, with their approach to the season. They've been a very good side. They've had 4 wins, same as us, and I'm looking forward to our blokes, trying to win the game today.
Preston line up now, and the team that they've given us is exactly that was in the paper during the week. They've got a top goal-to-goal line. Matt Burrows, perhaps playing for the centre half back position for the VFA. Coming up a game against Tasmania, he's a player to watch. Plenty of options up forward with Jamie Shaw, the focal point. 15 goals from 2 matches. Let's talk to their coach, Peter Waitman.
It certainly is. We haven't performed well over the last 3 weeks. Our best performance was round 2 against Coburg. We're in a position now where we need to improve our performance today to give Port Melbourne the hard game. I'm not really happy with our performance over the last 3 weeks, but I think we can improve today, and these are the games that you win. I've told my guys that you don't lose these games.
As usual, neat as a pin, Peter Waitman, and as usual, our 2 sartorially splendid gentlemen and the top coaches in their respective divisions, Phil Cleary and Sam Kekovich. Good afternoon, gents.
Good afternoon, Peter.
Should be a beauty, this one.
Well, I can already sense there's a fair bit of pressure on out there, and there's so many individual contests. We've talked about the likes of Saggers, who's going to pick up the players like Hallis and Shaw, and I think they're going to have a lot to do with the game. But it's just full of great clashes throughout the over the ground, and I think it's going to be an exciting game.
What about the other end of the ground, Phil? You've got guys like Saggers, and at centre half forward we've got Peter Smith, which I'm looking forward to having a look at, via North Melbourne, via Brisbane, and finally to North Port Oval.
To half the Port side are ex-North, aren't they?
Well, they are virtually now. You've got Roy Ramsey on a half-back flank. But as Phil said, the game is just inundated with clashes, and it's really got a star content. Both sides at full strength, and I think the viewers are in for a crackerjack contest here this afternoon.
And what about Preston? They've come from near extinction to be, now we're talking about them in the same breath as Port Melbourne. Who'd have thought that?
Well, when you look at it, I mean, they've got a 100-goal full forward in Shaw. They've got a great centre half forward in Hallis. They've got a ruckman in Anderson playing well, and that'll be another great contest in the ruck. Anderson versus Chadman. They'll have a lot to do with the final result of the game, I would think.
And there goes Jackson getting Preston forward. A free kick, though, right into the back of Roy Ramsey. So the former Roo into action, going from left to right. Port, good mark taken there by Foley. Feeds it off to Allender. Handball's intercepted. Battles on Allender. He's got some support. Saggers, squaring kick. Oh, yes, picked up brilliantly by Peter Smith. Here he is, the blonde bombshell. From Carrara to North Port Oval, and he's going to have a shot within the first 30 seconds. Going the torp, too, from 55 metres. Standing start, won't make the distance. Yes, Port mark, taken by Foley. Good front position from Gerard Foley, and he's been conspicuous early. 2 telling possessions. And can he cap it off? Directly in front, no breeze to worry about, but a very heavy ground. The ball, though, won't be heavy as yet. So it'd be good to capitalise here for the Burrows. Umpires today who you can hear talking, Shane Nolan and Tony Gleeson. Awkward one from Foley. I think he sneaked it through. Yes. Full points comes up at the 1-minute mark. Port Melbourne, 1 straight goal. Preston yet to score.
Well, he certainly made up plenty of ground quickly there, didn't he, Phil? Got the possession out of the centre and then sprinted down the forward pocket to be involved in the further contest. And, it was a good eyes glued on the ball and marked very strongly.
You're right, Sam. I think we see here from the kick, and I suspect here that Marcon maybe should have made more of an effort to punch. You see him there with hands outstretched to take the mark, and that's always dangerous.
Oh, Sam, that's something that Phil has picked up about Marcon's play. He'll have to stop it if he wants to get in the VFA side. As it comes out to Hallis, an elusive forward, a clever forward, into the pocket for Shaw. Oh, good position. Oh, gee, with the wet ball, he might have been paid. Here's Grant Salvador. That's a goal. Oh, top kick from Salvador. They've got so many options up there, the Bull Ants. What Shaw doesn't get, there's 2 or 3 that can clean up, and it was Salvador on that occasion.
It was a poor attempt at marking by Crimes. He really was unopposed and should have marked that ball relatively easily. But the inevitable fumble occurred, and in this type of football, they just sweat on, especially with Preston's pace. They're certainly going to ensure they're going to be at the base of every pack. And there was a classic example, and kicked truly from a very difficult angle.
He's a good half forward. He's spent a little while up in Queensland enjoying the sunshine. He's back in with Preston and a good player.
Chadban wins the fist. Here's a chance for Smith. Now the race is on into the pocket. Snedden, who's he got to tap to? Oh, chance here for Zakali. He's kept it in play brilliantly. Here's another one. Straight through it goes. Rice bangs it out into the old milk factory. And that's 2 straight goals for the Burrows, 1 goal to Preston.
Well, I can really thank Snedden for that goal, because he really worked hard and kept the ball alive and kept it in play when it looked a foregone conclusion that it would go over the boundary line and out of bounds. But he really persisted and knocked it in and got it on to Zakali, yes, and into an open goal and the inevitable.
Fast game too, isn't it?
3 goals in 3 minutes.
It's a great opening here at Northport. Oh, coming through strongly, that defender there. There's Bradbury. It's over his left foot, nicely shoveled. He ducks into the tackle, gets a free, but play on's a call. Up in the direction of Snedden from behind, but good play by Jackson in for his, we didn't see him last couple of weeks ago, full back, and he cleared the ball, but Bradbury tried to get the free, tried to talk the umpire into it.
Bit optimistic there, Ross.
He was. So in front of the old stand, there's George Allen. Chadban from behind. Brian doing the ruck work for Preston, 19. Chadban gets a second tap. Here's a go from McCormack. Blinds him up. Looks pretty good for McCormack. It's there. Port Melbourne, get their 3rd goal.
And Pixie Phil registers his first possession. And what a better way to acquire possession than register as major on the board.
Well, this is going to be a very good contest here with Burrows. Matt Burrows has recently been included in the state squad, and there's McCormack. He's a dangerous player. He runs around a lot, so Burrows will have a lot of his work, well, they'll have his work cut out, actually, picking up McCormack, who's a very clever player.
Back at centre field. Preston trying to go into attack. Jordan pushed off the ball, and Port out of trouble through Rice it is. Up in the direction of Smith, and he's prominent early. The big blonde number 1. Good shot of him on screen, centering the ball. The direction of Lindsay Sned again, but he pushed the man in the back there, and the free will go to Donny Valkanis, left footer out of the back pocket. Wearing the black armbands for Bill Perry, a life member to both Preston and the VFA, who died during the week. Fortunately, though, straight to Smith. That's his 3rd mark so far, and he finds Saggers deep in the pocket. Too far out to score is Robert Saggers. He's looking for a lead, but nothing's coming, so now there's one. He slots it in short, but out comes Valkanis to take the good mark.
Valkanis back in the direction of Smith, but he's got a loose man here, Jackson. All on his own. Saggers prevents him from playing on. Tony Gleeson calls play on eventually. The fist from Allender. Swan out positioned. Here's Rice, puts his body in. Jackson couldn't take control. Zakali, searching handball to Rice. Oh, he gave it straight across there to Hallis. Chips the pass to the wing, and it's taken there by Bryan. The skipper for the Bull Ants wheels onto the right. Oh, he's got a loose man at centre half forward here. Is it Lumachese? No, it's not. It's Nicolo. He's lost it. Puts the trip in on Bradbury. The big fella, Chadban, got down well. Goes for the safety of the boundary line. And there'll be a throw-in on centre wing. So it's 3 straight goals, 18, Port Melbourne. Preston, 1 goal, 6. Let's go out to Victoria Park. Len Thompson.
We're at the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. Footscray 3-3-21 to Collingwood yet to score. Steve Perkin.
10-minute mark here at VFL Park. Carlton 1-4-10. North Melbourne yet to score. Ken Davis.
12-minute mark here at Princess Park. Melbourne 1 goal to 8. Fitzroy 1 goal 1-7. James Weston.
10 minutes gone in the first quarter at Windy Hill. Richmond 1-1-7. Lee Desson 1 straight goal. Back to Port Melbourne.
And Port Melbourne lead 19-6. Go in the first quarter, doing well. Pass it wide to Bryan, just inside the line, the centre man for the Bull Ants. Look up here for Big Anderson. Wide of him, Salvador. He take the mark, nose to the boundary umpire on the fall. Free kick down to Witzel, who spent some of the season already out suspended, hasn't he?
Throwing the boot.
Throwing the boot, was it? Up there, good mark, Saggers. Gee, he can take a grab, this fellow. Didn't have his kicking boots on last time we saw him, did he, Phil?
No, it's interesting. Actually, Witzel wasn't suspended for that boot throwing episode, but Saggers is playing a long way up the ground on Ricky Jackson, number 2 for Preston. So it's an interesting move by George Allen. 45 metres out.
Right there. Robert Saggers, that's not a very good kick. Once more into the pocket, thumped away. That's good defence by Preston. Zuck Harley coming in for Port, but he's beaten to the ball by Burrows, the centre-half back, and Bradbury does the right thing by the boundary umpire, hands him the ball.
That twin-pronged attack of Saggers and Snedden is already proving an ominous sight for Preston, isn't it?
Anderson from behind. Now McCormack, good hand pass on the left to Smith, in towards the goals, but wide. And Port now up to 3-2. Play with it though. Into attack they go through Strooper, but it's deep in the pocket. And the free given away, perhaps unnecessarily. Free to Peter Brown. He's got Jackson short on centre wing. There he is. An unchecked, so a bit of loose checking by both sides at times, in spite of the frenetic opening. Jackson in the direction of Hallis. Allender, good roving by Scholl. Looks it back, keeps it in play, and finds Zakali. Little fella onto the left. Looking for centre-half forward up there in Smith, but just over his head. Good roving by Swanee. Billy Swan picks it up, puts it through. Lovely goal.
Through the middle. Now, if he gets free run and is able to deliver the ball to Shaw, that obviously the Port Melbourne backs are going to be under a lot of pressure, and we see Crimes does it right, but very hard. Shaw, long arms, and they're going to have to work very hard, Port Melbourne, to make sure that the ball's not run in that easily.
That'd have to be one of George Stone's easy goals for sure, wouldn't it?
Yes, I'll have to ask Georgie about at quite a distance, but it's...
Gee, that's a bit harsh, Phil.
I think that's a bit harsh. I think you'd like...
Snedden is not the most accurate shot at goal, as we saw.
From 3 yards out.
26 minutes gone, 12 points in favour of the Bull Ants. Here they go again. The kick hasn't found anyone except Strooper. No troubles for Peter Smith. Peter Smith. A heavy football, goes for the short one into Snedden, up high. Couldn't bring it down on the second occasion. Brian butters up for Preston. Now Jackson. With the fly of the ball is Bradbury. Down he goes. Avoids the pack, fortunately. Good play by Niccolo. Oh, that's a great hand pass to Anderson. And away they go.
Lawson.
Lawson, the look-alike with Brown, up to Shaw in front. Oh, that's good play by Allender. He does...
Plenty of Bull Ants here. Anderson can go out wide to the wing if he wants. Decides to go himself with the boot. Hallis to the running Brown. He was on his own that whole passage of play and finds Lumachese. Up he gets little Joe. Shepherding from Bryan, but Saggers puts in the telling tackle.
The lead, Peter, beyond their reach now, Port Melbourne.
Here it is, Sam. We see the kick out now. Chadban's got good position, but Anderson slips in front of him. Quick as a flash, he sees that Shaw's on the move, puts the ball down. We don't see it on the screen here. But in fact, it was a good lead, and Shawry, of course, marked it, kicked a goal.
Peripheral vision. And, gee,
is that east-west or north-south?
Anyway, I don't know. Here's Allender, because I couldn't see who that fella was with the mud all over him. Up to centre forward. Robert Saggers. Now, he's not that far out, 40 metres, perhaps 35 to 40 metres is the man on the mark. But we've seen him miss goals from this distance. He's just kicked 2 today.
He's battled hard, Saggers, all day.
Spent some time in defence. Here he goes. Stuttery approach. You think he's snuck it in? His third. He has. 3 goals to Robert Saggers. Swap. And the difference back to 59 points in favour of the Bull Ants.
Well, in this passage of play we see on the screen now, it's a close example of what they haven't been doing all day, and Preston have been doing. Zakali getting possession, driving it by, and not more importantly, running on and receiving the second hand pass and creating the gap, and it was a wonderful one-handed mark by Saggers.
Anderson, 14. Oh, look at that. Awful.
Well, Phil, how do you rate Preston now that you've had a look at them really under extreme pressure? I mean, as everyone's been saying, the bubble's going to burst. They haven't played a great deal of opposition, but after today's performance...
I'll just comment on that in a minute, Sam, actually.
Steps it out. Sorry, Pete. Bradbury again.
And the mark's taken by the very reliable Valkanis at half-back. Don't forget, after the football, Sports Arena, the usual very comprehensive coverage of sport around the nation. And a highlight will be the water polo qualifying match over there in Perth with Australia going for the gold medal against Hungary. They've already qualified for the Olympics, and they could cap it off with gold against one of the top European sides. Also in Sports Arena, we'll be having a look at the Aboriginal cricketers over there in England, and heaps more as well. Port fighting it out to the last, but being thwarted. Then there on the back line, Jackson, a clever tap. Hicks, look at all the bull ants back in there. Mark gets it across to Jackson, chips it over the top. The mark taken there by Burrows. Too much pace, not much of a left foot, but he gets it up towards the wing. Taken by Crimes, away from Prideaux. Towards half-back, there's the loose man, and it's McCormack. Another one, Zakali. Over the top to Ramsey. Inboard, he goes to Hart. Interchange player. Thwarted in the last line of defence by Ricky Jackson.
Well, to answer your question, Sam, there's no doubt they've got two of the best key forwards in Hallis and Shaw. They've got a top ruckman in Anderson. They've got good small players, Limachese, Seno. So really, they've got everything. They're a very powerful side.
And victory to Collingwood at Victoria Park by one straight kick. As Seno over the top finds Nicolo. Hallis breaks through the tackle of McCormack, gives it across to McCormack's opponent in Burrows, up from half-back. They're on half-forward now. Prideaux, long, high kick to the goal square. Jamie Shaw, yes. Chance to kick his 9th. He has kicked 23 goals in 3 matches. This will be 24. And must be odds on to get his 100th. He's taken 12 marks, including that one. Through it goes, 9 goals to the Bull Ant spearhead. He's kicked 4 in this last quarter.
I think, Peter, it's also worth mentioning the manner in which he has acquired those goals. They've been directly resulted with good possession winning, tremendous marking, great leading, and great contesting, hasn't he, Phil?
Yeah, well, he puts you under pressure because he can mark from a lead, he can mark from a set play, he's mobile, he's a dangerous player. He takes a very good player to be kept out of the game.
63-point leaders. I think it might even be 64. Might have another behind there for Preston, is off the side of the boot. Clever kick there from Swan. Gives it to McCormack. He goes back for Ramsey. Chad Van beaten by Valkanis. Saggers there. And finally, not over the boundary line. Jackson did it well. Gives it to Valkanis. There's good pressure in there from Dunbar as well. Here's Bryan. Dominated in the middle, but caught well on this occasion by Rice. Ball will have to come back. Coming up to the 27-minute mark. Plenty of entertainment coming up with Sports Arena, the national magazine. And tomorrow night on ABC television, 7:30, Nature of Australia. A little early was Mark on. Chad Van. A bit too close was Swan to get the handball, and away goes Valkanis. The heavy ball getting heavier and the legs getting tighter. It's been energy sapping in the glue pot. Hallis feeds it out wide to Lawson. Oh, good tackle on him from Bradby. Keeps battling, could be penalised. Would have got it anyway. Sned swinging it wide. Oh, great mark from Limachese. Came in from the side. A pockets Royce Hart as he passes it up to the diving Valkanis. He's up on half forward, and he's played a fabulous second half. As we see Melbourne too good for Fitzroy at Princess Park. The Bull Ants have been too good for the Burrows here.
Hasn't he got a wonderful
can't be
leap?
too far away.
Pete, hasn't he got a wonderful leap? Easy.
Seno on the left peg. You'd have to just about back him in. Distance was there, no. Off the hands through for a behind.
Wait for the flag, Pete. Wait for the flag. Wait. When you're ready.
Swan making position in short.
That'll go.
Pretty tight old kick, but it finds Zakali. former Coburg player. Oh, intercepting there was Brown. Gives it to Burrows. Well chased there by McCormack. Been a good duel between those two all day. Lawson over the top to Salvador. Inboard, he's got Nicolo. Oh, unselfish to Shaw. He's got a chance to kick 10 again.
Now Johnny around.
He's got that yard break, Phil, in front of his full back.
Give him the ball.
Yes, most certainly.
No, it's been a great return to VFA by Big Jamie, the Spider-Man, as he's called.
I can see what George Stone says means when he says he gets easy goals. It's because he never has to kick from more than about 30 metres out, but that's not because he hasn't played well, yeah. Well, he hasn't got his 10th here. Doubt he's even scored. No, it's out on the foot.
It's about his only blemish for the afternoon.
Just took it a little bit easily. 65 points is the lead for Preston. We've played 29.5 minutes.
5 metres.
You can see why he takes such good marks. He just reaches down there with one big mitt.
They're massive, aren't they?
Allender's high bomb. Looking for a mark there from Snedden. He gets one from Swan instead. The skipper goes wide, looking for Hart. Oh, all Preston on the ground level. Luma Cheesy breaks 2 tackles, gives it across to Marcon. Good tackle from Swan. Smith beaten by Marcon. There's Luma Cheesy again. Oh, good work low to the ground. Comes back to Luma Cheesy from Hallis, but that's all she wrote. Victory going to Preston, and what a victory for them. They've gone into 2nd position on the ladder. Well, they've gone up to top position after that win, having played their game from the round, sitting back very contented winners. 25-17, 167, 15.